What was your favorite era of the O&A show? Wow, that's a great question. I think I hated the last. Trying to think. I hated the last 5 years of the Opie and Anthony Show easily. Obviously, when me and Anthony started the whole thing all those years ago at WAAF, the only station that really rocks, that was so new and exciting because no one really knew who we were yet, and we both knew we were on a rocket ship and we couldn't do no wrong. So those times were incredibly exciting. Uh, Man, I would have to say though, in the end, I think the first, well, not the first. I think our run at WNEW was my favorite because that was just pure insanity. We had no bosses. We had New York City by the balls. We had a whole entourage that came in every day and hung out with us. It got so crazy. We hired shot girls to hand out shots on Fridays to the friends and family that showed up for the radio show. A lot of these people didn't even go on the air with us, but they just moved along with us, and it was just a runaway train. We knew the whole thing was going to end in spectacular fashion because I think we had no choice because everyone would tune us in every day going, holy shit, these guys are nuts. They're insane. And I knew from where I sat, I always felt like we had to up the game and do something, bigger than the last thing that we did on the radio. And then sure enough, we did the Sex for Sam and that knocked us out. But I wasn't surprised when that happened because we just were out of fucking control. So I would have to say the NEW run was my favorite years. Although the early years of XM were right a close second, I would say. And then I would go with the WAAF, and then the last 5 years of the show, I can honestly say I did not enjoy that much at all. How crazy was the gay off? I hated that. I knew we were done. I kind of knew the O&A show was done before that, but I can speak for myself. I looked at Anthony that day. I don't know. I think the gay off was at the end of the O&A run. I think somebody could help me out with that, but I feel like it was pretty close to the end before Anthony got fired. And basically, it was guys that came in that were pretty desperate for money, and to get the money from us, they had to do some acts. Let's just say, kind of looked good on paper. But then when we started doing it, I was so disgusted and so out of it. I was like, this is what our show's become. And I remember, like I said, I can only speak for myself, but I felt like I looked at Anthony that day, and there was there was a look in his eye, like, oh Jesus, what the fuck are we doing? I really felt I felt that from Anthony that day. And if you listen back to that show, you're not going to hear me and Anthony really participating much. I pretty much totally tapped out. I don't remember, but I feel like Anthony kind of tapped out, and I remember Jimmy giving me a look. Like he was mad that we weren't like all in going for it and playing it out. And I just remember thinking like, oh man, this show is over. This fucking show is over. Yeah, there you go. Oh shit, I forgot about the goddamn gay off. It was weird as fuck. Yeah, it was really strange. And then there was a desperation to the guys because they really needed money. And maybe the old version of me would have kind of found that hilarious in some way, but I just remember it being like, ah, God, this is so wrong, and I don't even know if it's entertaining.